Brainrot is affecting us more than we'd like to think it is. Sure, we all probably know that one Gen Alpha kid who can't form a single fucking word, but let's not pretend like you're any better. And yes, I mean you. Get your ass off of TikTok and pay attention to the video that you clicked on. But seriously, if you made it this far into the video without clicking off, good job. This is actually a really good segue to the next part now that I think about it. According to this graph here, the average human attention span in 2000 was 12 seconds. That's pretty good, actually. The average human attention span in 2013 was 8 seconds. You can ignore the goldfish part where it says the goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. I did some research, it can't be proven. The rest of the figures here are also up for debate because I found dozens of variations of this infographic all without a noted source. But other more well-researched studies do point at the same trend. Attention spans are getting shorter. So, what's the cause? I mean, you're on it right now. Look, I'm not gonna be the boomer snowflake that thinks that social media is the root of all evil, because that would be incorrect. And also, I wouldn't have a channel. The internet has a lot of good to it, and it has a lot of bad to it, and that's a topic for a separate video. That is a whole other issue. It's a very interesting issue, but that's not what we're talking about here. Anyways, back to my point. One of the main reasons that attention spans are shortening is because of information overload. This thing in your pocket literally contains every single fucking bit of information known to man. History facts, math answers, the latest meme compilations, movie plots. Hence, to put it simply, you have complete access to all of human knowledge. How do I know this? Because you're watching this video! This unlimited access to knowledge is gonna have a huge effect on your day-to-day life, even if you're Gen Z or Gen Alpha and you grew up with the internet. We're accustomed to having the most information in human history readily available to us. It's more information that we can process, so our dumb fuck brains have to skim over content instead of taking the time to process it. We then become disinterested with anything that doesn't catch our attention in a second. And there's content creators that are taking full advantage of this. Now, eye-catching titles and images have been around well before the internet, actually to the oldest days of advertisement. Our brains like bright colors. It's nothing new, but this incarnation of it has to get your attention much faster. YouTubers have been doing clickbait titles and thumbnails since the start of the platform, and this has been carried on by TikTok. You've got to get someone's attention while scrolling in less than a second, and if you don't, they'll never see your video again. For example, what the fuck is this? It's like 5 different things in one video. 2 people these days need 4 fucking mobile games for a video to be interesting. How am I supposed to concentrate on one thing when all this shit is going on? Look at this teacher over here who's teaching his class with Subway Surfers on the side. Is this what we've come to? Having mobile games on the side while you teach the students how to do math? Is America really doomed? This gets us to the next reason why our attention spans are getting shorter. Dopamine overload. This shit right here may be stupid, but it gets that dopamine up. Dopamine is a chemical that basically sends a message to your brain that you've been rewarded. Videos like this feel like a reward to our brains, and by doom scrolling, we feel like we're getting rewarded hundreds of fucking times! We might as well be storing dopamine like it's crack cocaine! There's nothing wrong with scrolling TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, etc., and I'm not gonna blame you for it. But you've got to set a time limit. You can't just scroll for hours. Dopamine crashes are really bad, and sooner or later you're gonna have one after all the scrolling doesn't make you any happier at the moment. You might be thinking, Rex, you've taken part in this too. And you'd be right. Most younger people probably have, and I'm no exception. To all of you watching this video, you too have probably doomscrolled. I know this video is shaping up to be really critical of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but I'd like to dedicate this next section to making sure this video doesn't become boomer propaganda. So do you remember these videos? The street interviews where Gen Z folks had to answer basic questions. These were fucking stupid. Videos like these validate millions of chronically online dipshits who now think they're Einstein for answering basic questions. I don't doubt that they've cut together different answers, taken the worst answers that were given jokingly, and more, much more, to fit their very specific narrative. It's like a Tyler Olveria video. And let me tell you, no one ate this slop up better than the kinds of people who look down on Gen Z. And then they use these falsified videos, these very cherry-picked videos, to fit their specific narrative that young people are fucking stupid. Has it ever dawned upon anyone watching the Gen Z street interviews that they are far more staged and edited than they'd want us to know? Or that some of the interviewees might be joking because if they give a horrible answer, they're more likely to get into the video? Well, to the people who watch these videos, this must be inconceivable! Because if that's true, that takes away their special snowflake status of being one of the few that can comprehend basic fucking knowledge. Look, even in the current year, it's still considered basic knowledge for a reason, because everyone knows it. To anyone who buys into this Gen Z can't answer basic questions BS, you are not Einstein. Shut the fuck up. You're the type of person who's so desperate for validation, you'll do anything to get it. Even watch clearly manipulated videos to get a false sense of it. And then you won't listen to anyone who tells you you're a fucking idiot for believing it. All you do is sit there scrolling so you can say, look at those pathetic losers who can't answer a question. You're being tricked. It's right there. Go touch it. Just go touch the grass. Please, go outside. I just think a lot of problems with you would be solved if you went outside and, met real people. Not just interacted with an AI girlfriend. Like, come on, man. Okay, rant over now. Basically, what I'm gonna look at is how overstimulation is affecting us much more than we'd like to admit. I will make 2 different shorts, one with Subway Surfers gameplay, and one without it. And we'll see in about 3 days how both shorts have performed. How will I do this? Well, YouTube Analytics have these really cool statistics for your video. You can see how many people clicked on your video out of everyone who's seen your thumbnail. And there's also some really cool retention information. The retention statistics are gonna be the most important here, since that's what I'll be focusing on once the numbers come in. Like, for example, maybe the one without Subway Surfers was shown more in people's feeds and got more views than the one that had Subway Surfers gameplay. But what we need to analyze here is the watch times and how long people stayed on both videos and how it compares to each other. So it's Monday afternoon, I'm in the basement right now, and we are gonna start filming the first part of the short. I wrote the script out in school, and you'll find out very soon what that script is. So basically, I'm gonna be playing 2 characters. For one of those characters, I'm going to be wearing what I'm wearing right now, and for the other character, I'm going to tie my hair back and put on this shirt.
One eternity later.
Now that we filmed the video, we need to film something that's just as important as the video. The Subway Surfers gameplay. Most people will probably just download a clip of Subway Surfers gameplay from the internet, but I'm not just any person. I'm going to make the Subway Surfers gameplay myself. So it's only been 2 days since I released the shorts, but I decided to film this part because I wanted to get ahead on it and ensure that I could get this video out by Friday. So first up we have the short without the Subway Surfers gameplay, which performed with 48 views, which is about the same as usual as I get on a short. You can see that the highest point for retention was at the start of the video. At the start, it was 143%, and by the end of the 23 seconds, it fell to 43%. If the attention span from the infographics we had earlier in the video tell us anything, then at the 8-second mark, which according to the infographics was the average attention span, only about half of the people who were watching at the start were still there. It also says the average view duration was 15 seconds. Now we go over to the brainrot one with 665 views. That's a lot of views. We pulled in 5 subscribers. That's insane. In this case, the average view duration was 19 seconds. That is 4 seconds higher than the video without Subway Surfers gameplay. At the start of the video, the retention percentage was 154%. By the end of the video, it was 52%. And at the coveted 8-second mark, only 91% of people were still watching. But here's the interesting thing here. This video performed better with 25 to 34-year-olds and 35 to 44-year-olds than people 18 to 24. And we even got a good 10% of 45 to 54-year-old viewers. there weren't enough viewers on the non-Brainrot short to give me information about gender and age and stuff like that. So, now that that's all said and done, now that you've seen that people of your generation are just as susceptible to brainrot as the Gen Alpha kids you belittle, do you still feel animosity towards them? Do you still think that you should dropkick them? Absolutely.